Hi, guys. Welcome to The Journey, episode 11. I'm Olivia. This is.
Christopher Hirschberger.
And.
Christian Santiago.
Welcome.
So, Chris, how about you tell them your artwork?
My artwork?
Yeah, tell them about it.
Like what? What part of it?
What got you started?
I've always wanted to draw. I knew from when I was a very small child that I wanted to do something art related, and it was primarily pencil. It was me, and as soon as I found out, like, I have a very artistic family, so everybody in it was like immediately funneling me materials and all sorts of other stuff. I was never the bad kid that drew on the walls because I had plenty of other things to paint on and draw. So,
Everybody else missed out then.
exactly. Yeah.
On the wall art.
Leaving murals in different places.
That's awesome. How about you?
Oh, man. So, magic. I've been performing magic for as long as I can remember. I've been doing magic. My grandfather showed me a trick when I was like 5.
Okay.
And that's really what got the ball rolling. And then I turned 11, got my first magic trick, showed my sister. And ever since then, I just couldn't put it down anymore. And a lot of people say, they get kids, magic tricks and like magic sets, and they just like usually just a phase.
Yeah.
But then for me, it was like, oh yeah, he'll do magic for a little bit, and then he'll go on to something else, and here I am, still doing magic.
Hey.
So the music part is I'm self-taught. The first thing I really picked up was the guitar, and that's also a funny story because my sister was the one who wanted a guitar for Christmas.
Okay.
So she got the guitar. She picked it up a little bit, but, she kind of just put it down, and I was like, hey, can I see it? Can I borrow it? And I picked it up, and I just started playing, just kept on, like, teaching myself. Like, I didn't know, like, to go get a book on how to read music or, like, look up how to play certain songs. I just started hitting the guitar, basically, trying to figure out how to make sounds work. And it just kept doing it after that. And that's funny because my sister just stopped it completely.
Okay.
And it wasn't that guitar. It was a different guitar. But I bought that one a couple of years after. And then I found a piano at a thrift store.
Okay.
And I would always go to the thrift store and I'd play it. And they were like, hey, yeah, you can play it. It's okay. And I was like, all right. So I just kept playing it. And then my mom and dad found out that I was going to the thrift store, which was right down the road.
Aw.
And they bought me the piano. It was an
Okay.
upright piano, and they surprised me. It was in the house. I was like, wow. And so my mom was like, just keep playing, because my mom really liked it too. So
Okay.
it was like music in the house.
Yeah.
So I just kept on playing after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, funny stories.
So how did you guys meet?
Playing cards.
Man, how
This
does-
feels like a loaded question.
Playing
That is
cards
kind of a loaded
years and
question.
Years and years
So,
ago, it was you
man,
and you
me and my
Randy.
first wife, Randy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
was a
did I
funny
meet
story.
you at a card
You
shop?
did. You met me because I
How-
found Randy before I
So
found
okay,
you.
yeah, let's get into that. So,
Okay.
so me and my ex-wife Randy, we were playing Magic a lot. So we would go to this card shop. I don't know if it was the one in Denellen.
It was
or
seventh inning stretch.
Seventh
on
inning
Manila.
stretch.
Yeah.
We would go to seventh inning stretch and we would play a lot. So Chris is there, and I wasn't the first person he talked to. He talked to Randy first.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I kind of met.
sound very bitter about
No, I mean it was funny because he would always poke at me for this.
was
It was
very
a continue.
defensive.
It was I was the first time. Yeah, I remember because I blocked her. The door was half open. Yeah. So yeah, Randy was like, "Oh, this is Chris." I'm like, "Oh, hi, I'm Christian," and we were dating. We weren't married yet, but so after the night of magic, we're going to the car. Chris is following, and I open the door for Randy, and she gets in, and Chris is like, kind of there, and I'm kind of like, okay, we're gonna go now, and I kind of got in the way of her and him, and I closed the door. I was like, all right, nice to meet you, and we became best friends ever since.
And it's because she was way more of a social butterfly.
She
than
was.
She wanted to talk to
Yeah.
everybody, and he was kind of
She-
quiet
I
in
was,
the corner,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I am very introverted, and she was very extroverted. But yeah, that's how I met Chris, and we headed off ever since. God, that was how long ago,
We've basically
man?
been brothers for like 10 years now at this point.
I feel like has it
Yeah.
just been 10 years?
I think so.
Oh my God, time
10 or
flies.
11,
I
something
can't.
like
I
that.
can't
Yeah.
even tell anymore.
That's
I
incredible.
think it was like,
Yeah.
what, 2012, 2013,
Jeez.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Why does
God.
that not sound like 10 years ago? That sounds like yesterday.
I know, it does sound like
That is
yesterday.
so wild.
Yeah,
I
got some
can't.
time distortion. I just can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about you guys' Ocala connection here.
So, man, I got here forever ago. I was a kid, and just fast forward with the magic. Man, I can't even remember. Like, I went to Bellevue High School, So I've been doing magic since then. I did competitions. I was in film class in high school. I set out a tutorial video on how to do magic, and I got like second place. And then I performed for schools, and I just kept performing out in the streets of Ocala, downtown square. I'd go all around, and just one thing led to another. It was like word of mouth.
Yeah.
And people started booking me for shows.
Is that how Megan and Mark booked you at the Keep for the magic show, or did you?
That's funny. I knew them because my sister did roller derby
Oh, with Megan.
with
Okay,
Megan,
cool.
and I hung around, and
Yeah.
I was always doing magic, and so when they got to Keep, I walked in there and I just, hey, is it okay if I just do magic in here? And they were like, yeah, fine. And
Yeah.
then I found the piano upstairs, and I just kind of hung out whenever I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they never actually hired me. They just let me perform magic in there whenever I wanted to.
Robin's kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I was like, hey,
You're like,
I
"This is the
mean,
best."
I walked in, I was like, can I just perform magic in here? You know, I'm
Yeah.
not going to get in anybody's way. You know, you don't want
Yeah.
to bother anybody. You got to kind of like gauge whether somebody is right to perform for.
Yeah.
And I've kind of gotten the knack of knowing like when that is, like right after they order the drinks.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything, they're waiting.
Yeah.
So I'd go in, kind of what I did. I'm pretty sure I did magic for a group of ladies, and maybe you were amongst them.
Maybe.
But yeah, so
I definitely remember seeing you. I saw you at the Keep.
Yeah.
I have a recollection of. I was like, oh,
you do know me.
There is a dude that did magic, and I feel like he played music too. Yeah, and your Ocala connection runs deep, sir.
My Ocala
yeah,
connection
it does.
runs deep
A
because
lot
my
deeper.
grandparents.
about your family,
My grandparents have been
Yeah.
super
It's like
involved
royalty
with
over
the
here.
community for forever,
Yeah.
ever since they moved here. What, like 50 some odd years ago or whatever it was.
Deep roots.
So they did most of the stuff with the Magnolia Business District and a lot of other things. My grandmother sat on boards for all sorts of stuff. So did my grandfather. I think at one point they were both on the MCA and whatnot. So that part of it. But I'm originally from Alaska, and I've lived all over. I've lived in Arizona, Texas, here, and whatnot. And then I kind of got into the art scene. It's really weird. I didn't get into the art scene here until after working at Painting with a Twist, because
Okay.
Mel Fiorentino was my boss.
I
walked in
what a
and
good boss to work
I walked
for,
in
though.
and cold called her with a portfolio. I was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, are you guys looking for people and stuff?" She looked at my stuff. She's like, "It's pretty good."
You're
And
hired.
it's like, "Why don't you come back when the manager's here, or not the other manager, the owner?" Because at that point she was managing the whole thing, and that's how I met a lot of the other people in the general area. And then later on, we kind of lost touch for a little bit after we both kind of went on different directions after there. But later on, I met her with the NOMA crowd of everybody, and we all kind of reconnected and did stuff and whatnot.
I think
So-
that's when I met you. Was
Yeah.
at Noma. Okay, rapid fire. Here we go.
Favorite place to be?
In the studio.
Something I can never live without.
Food.
Hobbies that I'll never give up.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a tough
Playing card games.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 words to describe you.
Never give up.
Okay. Your biggest fear.
Not doing something valuable with the time that I have left.
Ooh.
Damn, deep.
Dang. Things that make you angry.
Things that make me giving up.
Your inspiration.
For what? In general?
What's your muse?
My muse? My muse would probably be. It's the fantasy art. It goes back to like the Frank Frazetta and like Boris Vallejo style painting. Like that's my inspiration. I want to hit that at some point because they both painted very differently, but they were both huge fantasy artists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. Favorite wild animal and why?
Tarantula, and I'm just a huge fan of spiders. They're very interesting.
Awesome.
They're different.
You can come to my Shiggy Shack and have all the spiders you want.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. Take them with you. Yeah. Favorite food?
Anything Mexican.
Okay. First memory of life.
That's deep. First memory of life, fishing with my dad. Like that was
How old
for some
were you?
reason I don't know. It's just first memory of like life. Like that's so rough. I mean, I guess pulling out my own tooth with a pillow.
Oh, right!
with
I have so many
I'm trying to look. I'm trying to go so far back, and for some reason, that one is like the last memory I can have before I can't. Like everything else goes fuzzy. I was like a toddler. My tooth was loose, and it was in the middle of the night. Everybody was asleep, and it was driving me crazy. So I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I grabbed the pillowcase and I ripped it out myself. Yeah.
There must have been blood everywhere, and your mom probably had questions in the morning.
Yeah, I think so. I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was a tough one.
That's funny because the first memory I had is equally terrible.
Are you
The
serious?
one that I remember is chasing my brother around a corner and hitting a coffee table and knocking myself out and waking up on the other side of it.
Oh,
That's where I got the scar on my
I
forehead.
guess something traumatizing is going to be your first big memory. So that's kind of what sticks out. Is something traumatizing, unfortunately.
I know, that's right. Like the first memory is like, this is an awful event.
Yeah.
I don't. This is not about me, but my first memory.
She wants to share now. Yeah, she has to. Something
My
traumatizing.
first memory is sitting on this little chair at the end of a really long hallway and watching like light and the dust. You know how the dust floats through the light? And there's like this fan. It was kind of loud. And I asked my mom about it, and she said it was the day that my brother was born. I was like, where was I? And she was like, you were sitting on a little chair at the end of the hallway because we lived in a trailer at the time. And she said it was like and we lived in Arizona.
Yeah, it's hot
And
there,
they
too.
don't have air conditioners. They have those water things
Yeah,
there.
the humidifiers.
It adds
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
into the air.
Yeah, the humidifiers.
Yeah.
And
like
I
the
just
swamp
remember
coolers.
just like sitting there, just like watching the dust.
That's
weird.
almost like a dream.
It was like that. I think I was like,
That
I was
sounds
like
like-
2. I think I was
yeah.
2.
So fuzzy, right?
It's
yeah.
weird.
Just
Very weird memory.
That's
Okay. Best advice you got?
Best advice I ever got. Just be authentic. That's the best advice I ever got.
That's
It's
good
never
advice.
steered me wrong.
Yeah.
I've only ever stepped in it when I decided I was going to try to pretend to be something I wasn't.
Oh God. That's
I just learned recently that authenticity is 4 times more powerful than love. That's crazy.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Upstate New York.
Books that you are reading these days.
I think there are always at least a few on my bookshelf that are, or at least on the little nightstand. Right now I think I've got American Fortitude, 12 Rules of Life, and then an art book that I was reading, and I can't remember who the author was now off the top of my head, but I've got 3 different books that I'll pick up depending on my mood at the end of the day.
Very cool. I love
Very
that.
complex individual.
And with that being said, I feel like I should have asked you guys opposite, but it's okay. The fictional character that you want to be.
The fictional character that I want to be.
Yeah.
Alfred Borden.
Okay. I have no idea who that is.
He's a magician from
okay.
The Prestige.
Okay, I also don't know what that is, but that sounds
That's a good
awesome.
movie.
It's a
You should
movie
watch
about
it.
2 magicians who are
Oh.
battling each other, and they try to steal each other's tricks, and they hate each other. They really despise one
was-
Is
another.
it like East Coast
It was
versus West
Christian,
Coast?
Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
And Hugh Jackman
Yeah.
were the stars
They're
in it.
2 performing magicians in
Love
London.
both of them.
And
I need
yeah.
to see this
It's a
movie.
fantastic movie.
It is
I have seen
amazing.
it.
It's a masterpiece.
Oh,
Two
okay.
grade A actors
Yeah.
doing those roles was
Yeah.
phenomenal. But Borden was the guy. I was like, yeah, that's the guy. I like it.
Okay, Chris, what's your hidden talent?
What's my hidden talent? I don't know.
He's
Do I have-
laughing
do I have any hidden talents?
deviously
Do I have
over
any hidden
here.
talents?
He's laughing. He knows something obviously you don't want to share. I'm gonna
Maybe,
drink
I
my
don't
tea.
know. I make a lot lot of
Hidden
random
talents.
noises and
Yeah.
character impersonations. that
He's
don't
quick on
always
his
come
feet
out.
with jokes.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
Yeah, I'm very
Yeah,
witty about
he's very
catching the things
witty.
right as they come out, kind of.
and I swear he will say something he won't even realize it until like afterwards.
I'm
yeah.
walking away and I'm snickering. I'm like, that was a good one.
I like it. I like it.
Okay, favorite type of music?
Ooh, another loaded question. Favorite
Yeah.
type of music? My
There's only one
God.
right answer.
What? Classical? I don't know. Rock, indie. I'm a huge music lover, so that is a very difficult question. I feel like my cup of tea recently had been like indie post-hardcore.
Okay. What does your playlist look like on Spotify?
Oh my God, I have
What was the last playlist you made and you're like, oh, I love these songs? And
As Tall as Lions,
Okay.
a band that no longer exists. They're from New York, but As Tall as Lions is very good. They're a lot of band members, and it's very full of music. There's a lot of like instruments playing, and the guy's voice is just like, if I could take a magic pill and have a voice, it would be that guy's voice. That guy can sing. Like, I was like, I wish I could sing like that because I can't sing at all.
Sounds like you need to get in touch with Ursula.
Yeah, you're right. I do.
Yeah.
Sell my
I know if you see which
sign the contract.
Sign.
Where is it at?
Okay. When do you feel happy?
When do I feel happy? Right at the tail end of almost finishing a piece.
Okay.
Because there's a sadness that happens when you fully complete it and
you're
you put
done.
it down. Because now I have to figure out what to do next.
It's like the end of
And at that point, you
The
were
end of a
working on
book.
it, and you had a plan, and you had a thing, and you kept working on it, and you see the progress, and you get to that point, and it's right before, it's probably like a day or two before you put the finishing touches on it, and then that's the happiest point because you're like, this is awesome. It finally went through all the phases of art. You know,
Okay.
this is an awesome idea. To this is to this is crap. To I'm crap. To this might be okay. To this is awesome. Again, it kind of does that cycle every time.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
So with this, this is a loaded follow-up, but have you ever done a piece of artwork and you're like, okay, I'm finished with it, and then you just mess with it a little bit too much after that, and then you're like, I should not have done that?
Yes, but a very, very long time ago, and
Okay.
I gave myself a rule.
Okay.
Once my signature is on it, I will not touch it again unless it's
Okay.
restoration.
Ooh, that's a good rule.
If it gets damaged somehow and it needs to be fixed, I'll take paintbrushes back out. I'll do pencils, whatever needs to be done to fix it. I'll
Okay.
do that. But I made a rule a long time ago because if you don't put that finality on it, you'll never stop working on it,
Okay.
and then you end up messing it up.
It'll be like a Leonard Cohen song.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like-
here we go. What is your favorite word in? Let me ask you. Do you speak Spanish?
No.
Okay, then what's your favorite word in English?
My favorite word in English.
I bet it has 4 letters.
No, my favorite word in English. Like one syllable or like
No,
a s-
one word.
No, just your
word?
favorite
Just a
word.
word.
Yeah.
My God. I feel like I'm gonna get butchered for this. Somebody's gonna be like, "No, Christian, that was this word." Probably awesome. Awesome. I feel like that's wrong. That's a tough one. That was hard.
That has more than 4 letters.
It was. Yeah, we're gonna go with the more than 4 letters word.
I know we're not supposed to do this, but what's your favorite word in Spanish?
What's my favorite word?
No,
oh.
in English. In
Oh,
English.
if I said it in Spanish, I'm going to get in trouble.
Okay.
Because I have some running jokes with some other friends. So there's, you know, one of my friends get called a-hole on the regular in Spanish
Okay.
because that's his nickname.
Oh no, that's awesome.
It's got a
But
better
in
ring to
English,
it.
in English,
Not so easy, huh?
I know it is difficult. I got to think, like, what do I use all the time? I think I use fantastic more than I use anything else.
Okay.
And it's probably, it goes back to the stuff with like right now I'm doing a lot of tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like a 5-year-old student and there's a lot of fantastic,
Yeah.
like at that point. Because it's right at the age where they start to pick up and put concepts together.
Yeah.
So it's like they learn this thing and they learn this thing and they put them together and it's like, a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's fantastic.
Fantastic.
And that's all day long. And it's like, that's fantastic. Let's go.
Okay. Favorite cuisine.
Favorite cuisine? I like oysters, if that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love oysters. Yeah. What?
It's a texture thing. I
I
can't do.
like oysters.
I can't do
do.
'em.
Yeah.
You said Mexican for you. Anything
Yeah.
Mexican. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Best place you visited.
Best place I've visited. The best place I've visited is the Kenai River in
Oh.
Alaska.
Why?
Because I have really good memories of fishing with my dad in that when I was a very small
Okay.
kid.
Okay. How old were you?
I had to be like 5 or 6.
follow-up question. How cold was it?
It was fine. It was when the when the
Fine
salmon
is
come
not
up.
an answer for temperature.
When the salmon were coming up, I mean, we had like regular like woodsy clothes on, so it was like I had long pants and like wader boots and stuff because we were in the river dip netting the fish.
Freezing.
Yeah, it was colder outside, but I'm hot all the time. I'm like this. I don't know why I live here. I'm dying.
Alaska,
know what you mean.
Florida.
Thank you for joining us today. Our next show is July 5th at Karishma Boutique in downtown Ocala. And if my suspicions are correct, I think the show is going to be
Awesome.
and
Fantastic.
see you guys there.